Hey guys, Skelegod here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Masterverse, Masters of the Universe, Revelations, Deluxe, Skelegod. Yeah. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, as I said before, today we're taking a look at the Deluxe Skelegod. He is part of the Masterverse line brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel. He is based off how Skeletor will eventually appear, I assume anyways. Air quotes, assume. Just remember, when you assume, you make an ass out of you, not me. So, with that being said, I believe this is based off of how Skeletor will eventually appear in the Masters of the Universe Revelation series. To my understanding, he gets the power of Grayskull, gets all amped up like this, and starts running things. So the Masters of the Universe have to kind of team up and take him down. That's the basic gist, anyways. Or it could be, the Tila show, like everyone doesn't want it to be. Which, yeah, that could be the thing too, because, well, it's 2021. They gotta check off those boxes, right? So, thoughts about that aside, this figure is a mixed bag for me. I have to say, when I initially opened him, I was kind of disappointed in him, because he feels kind of cheap at first. But after, messing around with him for almost a day now, it is the day after I got him when I'm recording this. It's going up on Saturday, but I am recording it on a Friday. Or this on a Friday. I like it a little bit more now than I did then. And actually, I would like to shout out the local friend who shall not be named for privacy reasons for picking this up for me. Got it at our local Target. They had 6 of these. He got, I believe, 3 or 4, and the other guy got 2. There was somebody else there who picked up a couple as well. I don't know if they were a flipper or not, but they left 4 behind, so I don't know. Can't be that bad, right? But getting into the meat and taters of this figure, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong, this thing looks awesome. It's kind of funny. It feels like Skeletor's cosplaying as Mola Ram from Indiana Jones' Temple of Doom. With those horns on his head there. But I know those are probably supposed to be a bit of an homage to his Havoc staff, so that's okay, I guess. He's got some green Ghost Rider fire on his neck there. Which, if you have a Ghost Rider that is close to this color, probably put that on him and amp him up a bit. He's got these shoulder pads with these big kind of horned beasts on there. They got green eyes, each of them, and this big horn, kind of like a rhino or a stag beetle. Then he's got some gauntlets here, continuing that kind of big old spike theme. I don't think these have any green eyes on them, but they look cool. He's got the H on his chest, so again, that's why I'm assuming he gets the power of Grayskull, gets He-Man's power sword, and goes, "I have the power," and gets all roided up here. Cool sculpt on the hands, has some nice claws going on there. I think those look nice on both sides. They are a soft PVC material, so you don't got to worry about breaking anything there. Does have another kind of face on his crotch here. And this horned beast type character there. I want to know if we're going to see all these different creatures in this show. That'd be kind of interesting. the original Filmation series, which this is supposed to be a continuation of, even though it looks a lot like 2000X on steroids. I don't remember seeing a lot of like creatures, like other than Battle Cat and Panther, really. Which I don't even remember Panther that much, but I didn't watch a lot of the Filmation show because I thought it was campy as hell. Sue me. But what I did see, but it was okay, I guess. But yeah, I'd like to see more of these creatures in the series, if possible. And then he's got more on his kneecaps here. Again with the glowing green eyes. And then he has a cloth cape, which is layered. Kind of sticks to itself too. It gets caught up in itself. It's got the base layer, which is kind of this black felt. And I believe it's got multicolor too. It's like a brighter color on the inside than this. So it's black and then kind of a purplish blue on the inside. And then we have this piece, which has these two plastic weights on it. I don't know if that was entirely necessary, but if it looks like that in the show, then fine, I guess. And then it has this even lighter piece on the top. So it's a multi-layered cape. I think that's kind of cool. Maybe they could have used a better material that didn't stick to itself, but I don't mind that too much. That's okay. That's fine. I will accept that. Again, look, you can see it just kind of sticks to itself, so kind of awkward. But articulation on this guy, again, pretty solid. As far as how many points there is anyway, we'll get into a little bit more of the physical movement in a minute. But the head is on a double ball peg. You get plenty of range out of that. And you can actually pop the head off pretty easily. Looks cool. And you can actually slide all this stuff off. Like the shoulder pads, you can slide them right off. Along with the neck piece and the cape. The cape kind of just sits in the harness here. And then as for this, I like to put the green flames over this. You can put it underneath if you want, but it kind of holds it in place better. You put it over top. But I'll take that stuff off so we can look at the articulation. Putting his head back on, it is kind of funny looking. It's got a really long neck. Looks like Giraffe Man now. Maybe not. Maybe it just doesn't sit on there all the way because of the green flame, but he's got double ball peg, shifts forward and back. You can snap his neck, now he's dead. And he's got a little bit of tilt in there. Shoulders go out to the side pretty far. Back down. They do rotate forward and back. I will say this one was tighter than this one by a significant amount. This one just feels a lot looser for whatever reason. As far as the swivel goes, not so much the hinge in and out. But he does have a bicep swivel. Double joint at the elbow. He can punch himself in his own Skeletor face, so that's cool. He does have a swivel at the wrist with a hinge. Kind of soft on the hinge there. It's not exactly ratcheted, but it's okay. The torso clicks forward once. Goes back a tiny bit. And you do get a bit of tilt. Just a little bit, though. You don't get a lot. There you go. It's kind of like a diaphragm joint without the swivel part. I think it's on some kind of track. But, there you go. You get your rotation at the waist, though, which looks fine because it's at the belt. It's pretty well hidden. Now the hips. This is where the figure starts to fall apart for me. Hopefully, not literally, knock on wood, but I do not like the way they did these hips. And this kind of reminds me of in the Marvel Universe days, back when Marvel figures were 3.75 24/7. Some of the bigger characters like the Juggernaut and some of the Hulks, they had tiny kind of ball hinges in here, or just ball joints, really, is what it is, on the posts, and they were rather thin compared to the hip. They were a lot smaller than the hip, and that's interesting to me because on the Origins Skeletor, which I do have, they mastered the hip joints. These are perfect. These are nice and tight. I don't feel like I'm going to break these. Granted, this was made for kids, so they probably put a little bit more durability into this. But this is also half the price. And for half the price, I think you get a little bit better built figure than this guy. At least from the hips down. And really, it's the hips and the feet. We'll get into that. But the hips do kick forward and back. But be careful with this. If these are stuck, you will most likely break that post that the ball joint is connected to, because these are not very large. But you can kick them forward and back, and then we'll kick this one out. You can see right in there how small that joint is. So, be careful with that. Hashtag don't break your toys. That's never fun. Especially when they're brand new and awesome looking like this guy. Yeah, that's just no fun. He has a thigh cut, which again, be careful with that because sometimes it does push on that post again. This side's not so bad. This is the problematic side here. But you can see it does still have all the functionality of the other side. It's just a little bit more cumbersome to work with. The thigh cut seems to have loosened up a bit. And you do actually get a little bit of rotation out of the ball joint itself. But again, be careful with that. He's got a double jointed knee. Can almost kick his own Skeletor ass, but not quite. He's got a boot cut down here. I will say these were kind of tricky to move at first, but they eventually worked. This one was a little stiffer than the other one. And now we have the feet. Mattel. Buddy, I'm going to be honest with you. There are these amazing new things called ratchet joints. And what they do is they click into place. And also what they do is they make sturdier feet joints. What the hell is this? This is straight out of the package, and already I've had to play the balancing act with this guy almost every time when I go to stand him up. I'm sorry, but at the $30 price point, that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. This is a brand new release, and it already has loose ankle hinges. Now, there could be some out there that don't have this problem. That's a possibility. They could go in and fix this and re-release this guy with, I don't know, maybe some glow-in-the-dark paint apps or something. But, yeah, that's unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. From an established company that has more than 50 years under their belt. So, Mattel, buddy, put in some ratchet joints for the ankles, please. Because this is crap. And then while you're at it, do the same thing for the hips. Ratcheted hip joints. If it had those two things, this would have been top 10 figures of the year so far quality. As it stands, it's almost there, but man, you messed up in the two major areas you don't want to mess up. The rockers are decent, though. The rockers are actually tighter than the hinge itself. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. And he does have peg holes on the bottom of his feet, but a stand is not going to help him any. I tried it already. It does nothing. So, getting all of his accoutrements back on. Starting with this cape here. And you can actually take this torso piece off if you want. But I'm not going to do that. You could take the cape here. Slide it into the armor. Right on the back there. Then you could take shoulder pads, put it over top. The little neck piece, where did I put it? There it is. Little neck piece slides right over the top, like so. Push it down all the way, lock everything into place, and for the most part, everything stays on pretty securely. The cape was kind of flopping off on mine quite often. But that's because I didn't have it pegged in all the way. So I will take the blame for that one. But there you go. There is Skelegod in his loose feet, janky hips glory. Again, the two areas you need the most stability in, and you almost had it, Mattel. You almost had it. Someone in the comments let me know if that's the case on their wrestling figures or those 6-inch Jurassic Park figures. What is it, the Amber collection? Let me know if they have those kinds of hips and feet issues in the comments below. But looking at this guy's accessories, again, I'm not doing a separate clip for accessories just because it takes a little bit more time. And this guy doesn't have a lot anyways. He comes with a fair amount, I think, for the price point, but doesn't come with a lot. He does come with an alt set of hands for each side. He's got an open hand for the right side and a grip hand for the left. He does come with this fireball, this almost necroplasm looking effect piece, which you can slide right over the hand. It's pretty easy. You can give him his own version of the Falcon Punch, so that's kind of cool. But the piece de resistance, I think, is the Power Sword, which has a brown hilt and pretty much looks like the Power Sword. It is a bit longer. It's about as long as one of his arms. I wonder if it isn't longer because it's a bigger figure and it looks more proportionate to him. I wouldn't be surprised if they do reuse this with the He-Man figure, though. But you can just shove that right in his hand. It's relatively easy. There we go. Push it in there. And there is Skelegod with the Power Sword. Looks pretty cool. So there you go. There is Skelegod in his glory once again, with loose feet and janky hips. But with that being said, I think it's time we take a look at some size comparisons. Taking a look at some size comparisons, here is the new Skelegod figure next to the Masters of the Universe Origins Skeletor with the Origins of Evil 2-pack Skeletor head on it, that is. As well as the Masters of the Universe Classic Skeletor. I believe this was the second release. It's pretty much the same as the first, but shout out to T-Biz on that one. As you can see, our new Skelegod figure does dwarf these two by a significant amount. I would say, if we're talking maybe Marvel Legends here, he's about the size of a Build-A-Figure, if I'm not mistaken. Up next, here he is next to a couple other versions of old Boneface. We have the Intergalactic Skeletor, also from MOTU Classics. This is based off how Skeletor appeared in the New Adventures of He-Man series, which, not anyone's favorite, last I checked. And speaking of not anyone's favorite, at least not most people's, we have the Franklin Jella Skeletor from the Super 7 William Stout collection, based off how Skeletor appeared in the Masters of the Universe live-action movie. Great figure, pretty crap movie. And last but certainly not least, got our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while initially I was quite disappointed with this figure when I first opened him the other day, I have to say this figure has grown on me since then, and I do like it a little bit more now than I did then. However, that does not excuse the fact that the ankles are extremely loose out of package, straight out of package. There's really no excuse for that. This is an established company, not a new one. They need to get those fixed sooner rather than later. And I do feel like some of the joints are particularly too gummy. Not exactly in the elbows and knees, but more so the hips. And again, I guess the ankles would fall in that category as well. But to be honest, this is a really cool looking figure. I really have no complaints as far as the aesthetics or, the sculpt and paint on this guy goes. He also does come with a fair amount of accessories and is quite a large figure for the price point, measuring in at almost 8 inches tall. I believe he's close to like 7.5 or something, but I think you get enough here, but I just wish it was a little bit better quality is really what I'm looking for, and maybe they differ from figure to figure. It could just be mine. Again, Overlord's amazing luck streak. We'll get more into that in tomorrow's video of the DC Multiverse Death Metal Batman with the Plastic Man guitar. But this figure is starting to hit targets right now. I got mine there the other day, as I said earlier, from a local friend of mine who will remain nameless for privacy reasons. So shout out to them for picking this up for me. I do like it. Again, I want to stress that I do like it, and I do want to like this line, but I hope they fix those issues going forward. They are really keeping me from enjoying this figure as much as I could, I think. So, with that being said, I would recommend you pick this guy up, but keep in mind those issues are apparent. They are there, but if you are okay with that, then this should be an easy pickup for you. It's a really cool looking figure of Skeletor. I'm excited for the Revelation show, but I'm keeping my expectations relatively low because I feel like it's going to be more like the She-Ra show, but for, people who probably would have liked the She-Ra show that they just did had they been a little bit more grown up. I'm just saying. I hope I said the Teela show and not the She-Ra show the first time. Either way, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. Got some multiverse stuff coming down the pipeline. We did finish the Dark Father wave, and we are going to be taking a look at some older Mythic Legions figures next week. So stay tuned for all of that. That should be pretty fun, right? But in case you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions for live unboxing videos of all kinds of stuff. No, I did not do one of this guy. I am going to do a massive MOTU opening, but it's going to be for Origins stuff for the most part. So stay tuned for that. But in case you do miss the live unboxings, I do upload them to IGTV afterwards, so you can watch them in their full train wrecked glory at your own leisure. But as always, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this figure. If you are wanting or don't want this figure, if you're jonesing for or are gonna pass on this figure, excuse me. Personally, I see a lot of people picking this up just to get their MOTU fix, because really, it's been kind of bare lately. That Origins wave with Faker and Fisto hasn't exactly hit my area yet, and if it has, I already got scooped up by local collectors and or scalpers, because, well, they're out there and they suck. But as always, don't forget to keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.